10 Canadian cities with most illegal immigrants in 2024. In 2024, Canada continues to grapple with the complex issue of undocumented immigration. While Canada has long been known for its open arms and immigration-friendly policies, the recent increase in undocumented immigrants has created significant challenges for certain urban areas. From labor market impacts to pressures on healthcare and housing, these issues are most prominent in Canada's largest cities. This video provides an in-depth look at the 10 Canadian cities experiencing the highest concentrations of undocumented immigrants in 2024 and examines the social, economic, and policy-related factors that contribute to these trends. Number 1. Toronto, Ontario. As Canada's largest city and economic powerhouse, Toronto remains the primary destination for undocumented immigrants. The city's robust economy, diverse population, and wide-ranging job opportunities, especially in industries like construction, hospitality, and manufacturing, make it highly attractive for those seeking work. However, the high cost of living and a competitive housing market have driven many undocumented workers to seek affordable, overcrowded housing in the city's outskirts. Toronto's public services are increasingly under pressure, with healthcare facilities and social services facing significant strain. The city has struggled to address these challenges, particularly as the growing population intensifies demands on housing and public infrastructure. Number 2. Vancouver, British Columbia. Vancouver's proximity to the U.S. border and thriving job market make it a key entry point for undocumented immigrants. Known for its stunning landscapes and booming sectors like tech, tourism, and construction, Vancouver attracts many undocumented workers despite the city's high living costs. However, Vancouver's high housing prices have led to widespread housing challenges, with many undocumented immigrants forced into substandard accommodations. Public services, including healthcare and education, are also stretched thin as the city struggles to support a growing undocumented population. The presence of sanctuary policies in Vancouver has limited law enforcement's cooperation with federal immigration authorities, further complicating the issue. Number 3. Montreal, Quebec. As Canada's second-largest city and a cultural hub, Montreal is a popular destination for French-speaking immigrants, particularly from Africa and the Caribbean. Its rich history and diverse economy, coupled with a relatively affordable cost of living, make it appealing for undocumented immigrants seeking opportunities in hospitality, construction, and retail. Montreal's sanctuary city status adds another layer of complexity as local authorities prioritize assisting vulnerable populations over immigration enforcement. However, the increasing number of undocumented immigrants is putting pressure on housing and public services, particularly in areas like healthcare, where demand often exceeds capacity. Number 4. Calgary, Alberta. With its booming oil and gas industry, Calgary is one of Alberta's most economically dynamic cities and a magnet for undocumented immigrants. The city's growing demand for labor in construction, utilities, and hospitality draws undocumented workers looking for opportunities in high-demand fields. However, Calgary's rising cost of living and limited access to affordable housing have created challenges for both legal and undocumented residents. Public services, particularly in healthcare, are under strain as the city works to balance economic demands with the challenges posed by a growing undocumented workforce. Number 5. Edmonton, Alberta. Similar to Calgary, Edmonton has a strong economy driven by sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, and energy. The city's labor needs, particularly in agriculture and industry, attract undocumented immigrants, who often take on physically demanding and low-wage jobs that are harder to fill with domestic workers. However, Edmonton faces difficulties providing adequate housing and healthcare for its growing population as public services struggle to meet increased demand. The reliance on undocumented labor further complicates efforts to enforce immigration laws as the local economy benefits from this workforce despite legal challenges. Number 6. Ottawa, Ontario. As the nation's capital, Ottawa may not be the first city that comes to mind regarding undocumented immigration. However, its role as an administrative center and the comparatively lower cost of living relative to cities like Toronto have made it an attractive destination for undocumented workers. Many undocumented immigrants find work in Ottawa's informal labor market, particularly in services and construction. Ottawa's public services, including healthcare and social assistance programs, are under strain, with resources stretched thin to meet the needs of the city's growing undocumented population. Local authorities face the delicate task of balancing enforcement with support for vulnerable populations as the city's status as a governmental hub brings additional scrutiny. Number 7. Brampton, Ontario. Brampton, a suburb of Toronto, has become a popular settlement area for undocumented immigrants due to its proximity to the city's job market and relatively lower housing costs. Known for its multicultural community, Brampton provides employment opportunities in sectors like manufacturing, logistics, and construction, which often attract undocumented laborers. The city's public services are feeling the effects of this influx, with increased pressure on healthcare, education, and housing. The local government is working to address these challenges while maintaining a balanced approach that supports both documented and undocumented residents. Number 8. Surrey, British Columbia. Surrey, part of the Greater Vancouver area, is experiencing significant population growth, including an increase in undocumented immigrants. Known for its affordable housing options relative to Vancouver, Surrey attracts undocumented workers who commute to Vancouver or work in local industries like construction and agriculture. However, the city's public services are stretched thin, with growing demand for healthcare, schools, and social programs. Surrey's increasing undocumented population also places added strain on housing availability, which has led to rising concerns about affordability and quality of life. Number 9. Winnipeg, Manitoba. As one of the more affordable cities on this list, Winnipeg attracts undocumented immigrants seeking lower living costs and employment opportunities. The city's demand for labor in agriculture, manufacturing, and services draws undocumented workers, though the economic opportunities are more limited compared to larger metropolitan areas. Winnipeg's public services are less prepared for the rapid increase in undocumented residents, with healthcare facilities, education, and housing infrastructure struggling to adapt. The city's smaller size compared to other major Canadian cities adds to the challenges as resources are limited and not equipped to handle high demand. Number 10. Hamilton, Ontario. Located near Toronto, Hamilton is known for its industrial roots and the emerging job market in healthcare, education, and services. The city's relative affordability makes it attractive to undocumented immigrants seeking work opportunities outside the competitive Toronto market. However, Hamilton's public services, particularly healthcare and affordable housing, are increasingly strained due to the rising population. The influx of undocumented immigrants has created a need for expanded social services, leading local authorities to work on policies that support both legal and undocumented residents. Impact of undocumented immigration on Canadian cities. The rise in undocumented immigration in these Canadian cities has led to a range of economic, social, and infrastructural challenges. 1. Labor market contributions. Undocumented immigrants often fill essential roles in labor-short industries like agriculture, construction, and hospitality. These jobs contribute to the economy by fulfilling demands that are difficult to meet with domestic labor alone. 2. Public service strain. As the population of undocumented immigrants grows, so does the pressure on healthcare, housing, and education systems. Public resources are frequently stretched to their limits, affecting both legal and undocumented residents. 3. Housing challenges. Many undocumented immigrants face difficulty in accessing affordable housing, leading to overcrowding and substandard living conditions. This issue is especially pronounced in high-cost cities like Toronto and Vancouver. 4. Legal and ethical dilemmas. Local governments and law enforcement agencies face the complex task of balancing immigration law enforcement with community support. In sanctuary cities like Montreal and Vancouver, policies often prioritize humanitarian aid over strict immigration enforcement, complicating the management of undocumented immigration. 5. Economic dependence. Certain cities have developed economic reliance on undocumented labor, particularly in industries with high demand for low-wage workers. This reliance complicates efforts to enforce immigration laws and makes undocumented immigration an ongoing challenge. Like, subscribe, and comment to support the channel and stay updated with the latest content.